So now let's look at the final stage in the process. It's the job has been completed by the factory and we now have to update our stocks and all the paperwork. So we're now at this stage here, stage 6, job completed, ingredients used. So if we click on this, it takes us through to a screen we've seen before, but we now have to find that particular job. There is a quicker way of doing this, by the way, but we won't complicate things by doing that at the moment. And it is job 444 for the fish cakes. The recipe, that's all correct. That's what we should have used. So let's just have a look to see where our stocks are at the moment based on this situation. Let's close that. That's raw materials and look at our stocks. And we can see here that I've entered in the other receipts I completed the purchase orders and say I've received them all in. 5 kilos of fish, 5 kilos of peas and 5 kilos of potatoes. And there is our order going through the system. The status is currently it's ordered, hasn't been actually scheduled by the factory yet. And if we were to click on that one, for example, you can see it is for job 444, new fish cakes at 5 kilos required. So let's close that. Let's come out of that. Now what we're going to do, right back to the main menu, let's have a look at this particular job 444. There he is, and this is the status when it comes into play. So at the moment it's not scheduled. Now let's say it's actually been not only just scheduled but actually is work in progress in the factory. So at this stage obviously there's no way you can stop it or you can use the materials for something else because they're being used in that particular job. If we have a look at this now and go into stocks on hand, you can see how all those figures have moved across this work in progress column. So as you as the factory manager or as the owner of the business, you now know you can't actually reallocate those materials elsewhere because they're being used there. And again, you can click on that and you can see which job is being used. You may have a series of jobs down here using the ingredients. That's just obviously just one is live at the moment. And so you can see what your available materials are going to be after that job has gone through. Okay, so let's go back here again, let's go back to that particular job, 4444, and it's actually now complete. Let's mark it there, and we want to go look at the ingredients actually used, so click on this button here, which will take us through to that particular job, and that's what we should have used. But the factory have told us we actually used 4 kilograms of fish, tab through. We use the 2.5 kilograms of peas, tab, and we use the 5 kilograms of potatoes. So what does that then do? Let's close out of that, close out of this, and look at our raw materials, and you can see what it's done. Now with the fish, which we use 4 kilograms, we took in 5, so we've only got 1 available, and now that's updated the actual on-hand stock to 1. With the peas, we took in 5, we used 2.5 kilograms, and so we have available 2.5, and obviously the opening stock now, or stock on hand, is 2.5 kilos. Then with the potatoes, we took in 5 kilos, we've used all 5 of those, available is 0, and the on hand now is 0. So you can see exactly what your position is in terms of stocks sitting in your factory, which you can use for other jobs. And that completes this step of the process.